webcam video while you're trying out different stuff. I'm just fooling around with the camera and trying different things. Video sharpness, maybe that's why it's so blurry. Let's see. Noise reduction, we need that. Is that sharper? Look how blurry my face is. Auto lighting, truth theater, brightness, contrast, exposure. Anyway, I'm just piddling around with my camera, trying a few different things. I've been needing to make a vlog for a very long time. And I made a video response to my friend Christy today. She sent me a really sweet video, which I very much appreciated because I have really been needing some feedback on some stuff. And anyway, she helped me out, and so I sent her one back. That's a good way to chat when you're missing your friends or whatever, is to make a video and then let them reply back. It's good. I don't know what I'm doing to the video. Look at that. Let's see. No distortions. We don't want any. Just want it plain. This is, I don't want any filters. I just want it to show my face. What has happened? That's that skin smoother thing. Skin smoother is great, but if you have a lot of wrinkles, it'll just smooth your whole face out. You won't have nothing. I don't think we need any scenes. Let's see if we put a scene. What do you guys see if I put a scene? You still see me, only you see me all crooked and weird. It's radar. How funny. Like that. That's all that crazy stuff over on that shelf that still is. I ordered a new shelf. I got another one of those new shelves for $29. I've been working on some stuff. Let's see, let's try this one. But I haven't got that put together yet. Oh, okay, let's try this one. That's not bad, except for I did want zoom more. I wanted the manual zoom. Let's X that out. So, what have I been up to? Some people that know me from Facebook know that I have a duck, Rosie. She's one of the ducks that replaced the ducks that were killed. And she got stepped on by my horse, and her leg got badly hurt. And she has been in quarantine for 4 days, about 10 days or something like this. I don't know what I've done, but I'm awfully blurry, but here we are. And anyway, she's been in quarantine for a few days, and, well, 10 days or 12 days, I think. And the vet came and picked her up today and took her to their house to take the bandage off to have a look at it and see how it's going, and then to put a new cast. And they may either have to remove the foot if it has gotten necrotic in the cast. I don't think it has, though. But yesterday, my crazy pit bull got out of her cage and tousled. Almost got Rosie. And if my old manhunter had gotten out there and ran interference and took a beating too, Rosie would not be alive. But I think she may have re-hurt her leg. So, anyway, I'm hoping that the vet will be able to tell, and we'll fix that. My granddaughter is on her way. Matter of fact, I gotta check my text messages. My daughter left a couple of weeks ago. Oh God. Still got a rash or something. Okay. Anyway, she left, and we got in an argument. Not even an argument. I said something, thinking she was talking about something else, and she came back at me with just insane shit. I mean, just crazy. And called me a stupid motherfucker. I'm just gonna say it. And a dumb motherfucker. And said she was sick of my shit, and she wasn't gonna put up with it anymore, and whatever. And then proceeded to start telling everybody that I had kicked her out of the house. I had not kicked her out of the house. Now, I kicked my son out of the house for that very same thing, like a year ago, for standing in my living room and telling me that he couldn't wait to get the fuck out of here. And believe me, I couldn't wait for him to get the fuck out of here. You know, at some point, people wear their welcome out. Even your kids. I mean, people don't get it. That depends on the kind of kid, you know. If it's the kind of kid that is very self-sufficient and whatever, you know, they don't seem to have the issues of understanding that you can, you know, wear people out with your constant neediness or whatever. I don't know. It's just bizarre. My mouth looks crazy on this video. What is going on with this video? So, I've got to figure out what I did. There's got to be something. I know that I did like a high. Anyway, and then proceeds to tell my husband that I was just the worst mother, and that, you know, that everything I've done as a mother was just terrible, and that I treat my boys better than I treat her. That's so not true. My boys suffered. And as a matter of fact, my middle son suffered more because my youngest child was so spoiled, and my daughter was so needy all the time, whether in jail or pregnant or law problems or whatever. She was so needy all the time. She's the one that got more than anybody else. She doesn't believe it, but she did. My youngest son was spoiled rotten when he was little. But I didn't really buy him more than I bought the other kids either. I was very fair with my kids. That's the real shame of it, is that she does not see that I was fair, you know. And I mean, my middle son sees it and says, I don't know what she's talking about because it wasn't like that. And I'm like, no, it wasn't like that. You're right. I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know. She just got a chip on her shoulder, and I'm the closest one, so I get the beating or what it is. I don't freaking know. But I do know I'm sick of it. I'm sick to death of it. I am just tired of it. I'm taking this down. You know, it's like, I don't deserve it. And the thing is that when my son does stuff like this to me, when my youngest son does this, she's the first one to say, you do not deserve that. I don't know what his problem is. But when she goes on a bender, her stuff is the same as his. It's the same kind of BS. And it's like, do you not see the hypocrisy there? Like, you're not seeing that you are doing the exact same thing that you know, come at your brother for doing. And my middle son just gets pissed at both of them. He's just like, I don't know, and I'm sick to death of it. And I mean, there has been times when he wanted to secretly come here in the night and beat his brother because his brother was just being horrible to me, you know. And he doesn't like it, and he sticks up for me. And I don't know. It's just insane. Anyway, that's been the majority of what's been going on for 10 days or more, at least. Or maybe 2 weeks now, or I don't even know. But my friend's daughter was murdered in maybe I made a video about it, that my friend's daughter was murdered in no, I posted about it on Facebook. In New York, in a housing project, in a stairwell. And she's about 10 years younger than my daughter. She has 3 kids. And her mother used to be my best friend. We were best friends for a while. We had a major falling out, but we did mend it somewhat. I'm sorry, I don't know what the houdingy is up with this camera, but you're hearing me, I'm sure, so just pretend you're listening to the radio. That's what we're doing. Just do your dishes or something and you can just listen. But from that day that my daughter called me about that, she was in the city, I had the kids, yeah, she was in the city, I had both the kids. She had an appointment or something, court, or I don't know what the heck. Oh, and she has a jury trial coming up, and I really feel like they're trying to put my daughter in prison. I think that the county of Bernalillo has had enough of her bullshit and has housed her enough, and she's got another domestic violence case. That's what she's dealing with now, and I think they're just fed up with having to take care of her and are trying to put her in prison. You know, this is more than a 3rd strike for her. And since they made it a damn felony case, apparently, I don't understand why the state took it and made it a jury trial, and it was because the victim, her baby's daddy, had surgery and had a cast on, and said that she did horrible things to him. I don't know what she did. I wasn't in there. I don't freaking know. I just know what I heard on the phone, which is always, you know, opposite of what I end up reading in a police report. I do know that. I'm smoking like a train these days. Smoking like a lunatic. I've been eating a little bit better, though. I've been eating a little bit more. I went to the doctor's office with my brother, and I only weighed like 109 pounds or something, and I thought, ugh, I've got to get some weight on, because my mom is down to 94 and looks like a skeleton with blue jeans on. So, I don't want to be a skeleton with blue jeans on. I still want to look cute. I mean, if you're super thin, I'm not even dogging on anybody. I just know for me, 109 probably is not sufficient. So I have been eating better. Let's see what else has been going on. Oh, my dog had 13 freaking puppies. There's only 8 out there now. 1 died the day of, so that made it 12. Is there 9 out there? So 4 must have died, but she was shoving them in this little corner of the, my fingernails I haven't done in ages, shoving them in the corner of this little small doghouse, and so I changed the pen around, and then she escaped from there a couple times and tried to kill the duck, and but the pen I put her in, there's a much bigger house, and so hopefully nothing bad will go on in there. I don't know, I checked today, and there was, they were kind of behind this little mattress that's in a neat little cushy bed. I mean, I hooked her up, but I hope she doesn't destroy that bed, because it's nice. But she gets bored and tears stuff up. I hate that she has to be in a dog pen, but I have no choice, because she's a killer. Can't have her running around killing people's stuff and getting herself killed or hurting somebody, you know. And I mean, like, I need to do something with her, but you know, what do you do when you have a dog like that? I don't know. I know what my husband would like to do, but I feel more of a responsibility to her. You know, she's not vicious to people. She never has been. She's always been very lovable. She gets out in the yard with the other dogs, and she has gotten in a tussle with some of the other dogs, but she could have killed the one, and she didn't. She didn't even put any pressure on the old girl. So, and I have given her away, and she's been around other dogs. But if she gets out and there's a cat, or there's a chicken, or a duck, forget it. And I don't know what she might do, you know. And it just is not a good situation, but I don't know how to deal with it. I agonize about that situation with Sugar because it's just not ideal. It never has been, never's going to be. But I don't know, figure something out. I'll just raise her, and I would love to find her like one of those refuges for pit bulls or whatever, because she's not a pit bull. She's actually, what is she called, like some type of bull mixed with a mastiff, believe it or not. Her mother was Woof, not Woof. Her mother was a pit bull that had mixed with a hound dog that we had, and so she's sending me long texts about how to take care of things. Sorry guys, Olivia is having a friend over to vacuum the pool in the morning. Okay. So what was I saying? Shit. I was going to rewind and see what I was saying. What was I talking about? What the hell was I talking about? Oh, she's sending me texts about how to care for the infant. Anyway, so to me, oh, okay, so that was my point. So she had sent these texts to my husband saying just how rotten and horrible and what I was this worst mother ever, and I just hadn't been there for her and all that type of stuff. And then today, and so because she had said those terrible things to me, she had expected me to pay her storage bill, but because she said that stuff to me, I told her I wasn't paying her dang bills anymore. She better figure out a way. And I was standing my ground. My husband comes to, and he's been running interference back and forth, and that pisses me off because I feel like they're both stabbing me in the back. If he's listening to her, then he is just not being a good husband. And if she's doing it behind my back, she's just being disloyal too. You know, it's like, don't go to somebody's husband. That's not your real father. Don't go to somebody's husband with your bullshit and try to put him against their wife and try to play him against the, you know, both ends against the middle. I'm trying to put my husband. Who the hell are you to try to put my husband against me? Who the hell are you? You don't have no business trying that, first of all. And he doesn't have no business running interference, which I did make him prove that he wasn't by showing me the text that was going back and forth, because I was getting pissed off and accused him of being disloyal, and he said, no, I'm not, and he showed the stuff, but the stuff that she said was horrible, and still he doesn't have no business doing that. A child has no business playing two parents against each other. A child, whether they're 35 or whether they're 10, it's just out of bounds. You don't do that, and it's never been copacetic care, and I don't know what the hell, as she's got to be an adult, that's a game that she's learned to play, and I don't appreciate it, not one freaking bit. And then, okay, so I said to him, so he brings me a bill, like, and, here's the bill for the storage, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying that, I have a headache, and I said, I'm not paying it, and I said, and you want to be the hero, so you put your money where your mouth is at, and you pay the storage out of your money, because I'm damn tired of paying bills and then getting stabbed in the back. I'm damn tired of it. I'm not doing it anymore, and I'm standing my ground, and you have some nerve presenting me with a bill for that storage. I said, you know how I feel about it. I have not been anything short of vocal about my feelings right here, and don't you dare, And he was like, well, you want me to pay? I said, look, that's the only way she's getting her crap out of there. So if it's, and she'd put all the kids' birth certificates and stuff in there, at least the babies. We have copies of all of Olivia's stuff, but, and I was like, why in the hell would you put your most important stuff in a storage unit that you could lose at any time, and you just have to pray to God that somebody that gets that stuff from the storage unit has the, decency to reunite you with your stuff, like what happened to us before, and I sure as hell didn't put my kids' birth certificates in there. That would be idiotic. It was bad enough I had put pictures and stuff, but so he pays the storage, has a doctor's appointment today, so he decides to go and get all the stuff out of the storage. So now, in my castle here, I have to figure out somewhere to put all the stuff that she's already hauled off and put in storage once. And I've already gone and got her stuff from her apartment, storage, and whatever, so many times, and reabsorbed it into the house just to be accused of stealing it, I'm doing her a freaking favor by trying to absorb the shit into the household so it doesn't take up too much room. Yeah, if there's towels, I put them in the cabinet. If there's, shampoo, I let your daughter use it. If there's food, we eat it. Whatever, but I'm not going to just have boxes of stuff sitting around everywhere. It gets reabsorbed back into a household. It's got to be put somewhere, And no, I'm not stealing your shit, but you're not paying for storage, so what? What about it? You know what I mean? So today he calls me when he's up there getting all the crap for it to bring back home and says she's got some plan about going and staying at the shelter. Plus she was planning in the beginning to take my granddaughters and put them both in a freaking homeless shelter with her. And I was like, no way is Olivia going to go through that. I can't stop you with Danny, with the baby, but I can stop you from Olivia, and by God I will. My granddaughter is not homeless, and neither are you, but if you don't have the common sense to figure it out, and doing dishes is too much to ask for, a roof over your head, a king-size bed to sleep in, cable TV, whatever else, hot water, food everywhere, what is wrong with you? Go ahead, stay at Joy Junction. I don't give a flip. But it's not happening to my granddaughter. It's just not. And like I said, I couldn't stop her from the baby. So what she did do was she basically squatted at my brother's apartment since the argument, and let her baby eat all over my ottoman. I got her through the grapevine. And then when he calls me today, she's got this scheme about staying at the shelter for a week, and they'll help her get a house or something. Which I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if everybody that stayed in the shelter only had to wait 7 days for a house, that would be just wonderful. But I don't understand how my daughter is going to jump to the front of the line when I heard on the news last week they've got a waiting line a mile long to get in, let alone to get a house. So how does she, rate that? But she does somehow. And would it be okay, get this kicker, if I send the baby to you for just 7 days? This is how it started with Olivia. 7 days turned into 8 years. 2 weeks turned into 8 years. So I don't know what she's got up her sleeve. I don't know if she's thinking about running because she does have a court date. She is looking at prison time, I'm sure. And so I don't know. I don't know if she's... I don't have a clue. I just know that to me is a message, because I have said to my husband, I know I will end up with the girls regardless of what happens. I will have Danny in my clutches if it looks like something's going to happen. And so she went from absolutely hating me just yesterday or day before yesterday about what a horrible mom I was. Now my mom's been up there, my mom's been in her ear, and my mom reminded her, or my mom told her straight up, he wouldn't have paid the storage if your mom didn't tell him to. And she said, and you remember that time when you had a sinus infection and you got arrested, and you called your mom, you wanted to go to the doctor, and it was $5, and you didn't have $5 on your books to go to the doctor? And she said, yeah. And she said, well, your stepdad told your mom that you didn't deserve to go to the doctor, and for you to just suffer. And your mom made sure you had the $10, $5 for the phone, and $5 to see the doctor. So if you think your mom doesn't love you, just take that one example into account. That your mom does love you and does not hate you, and the one with the issue and the one that doesn't want to really participate is you, and has been you since you're 10 years old. She's been like that, secretive and weird, since she was 10 years old. I have never heard the truth from my daughter's mouth yet. It's from Olivia's age, I'm thinking. And if it was something major, no matter, something that she needed to talk to me about, she never would. She started her period and never even told me. I found out because I saw toilet paper in the trash that had blood on it. That's how I found out she started her period. She went and bought a bra by herself. She didn't even have me take her. Anything that she did. And she lost her virginity practically under my nose. Behind my back. But practically under my nose. And never said a word. Never said a word. So anyway, for any of you that are still hanging, I don't know what that horse was telling me, but for any of you that are still hanging in there, thank you, I love you, that's what's been up. And this crazy video with no face, I don't know. It's very odd. We'll try to figure it out, but this is it. This is the update. 30 damn near minutes of bullshit. I love you. Peace, be blessed. And I will try to get back sooner so I don't have to do this like this again. Goodbye.